everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged.
Hey guys. Oh, this light's bright. Y'all are gonna have issues in the chat because for some reason, oh, and then my like video looks like poop too. It might be the lighting though. Hold on, I'm gonna try to turn this damn light off. Give me a second. Ew. Does that not look weird? Do I look weird to y'all? I feel like something with my camera is weird. YouTube's having issues, and I don't think that it would be YouTube making my camera look freaking funkitated. But I didn't change anything. It looks weird to me. But YouTube's been having issues. Apparently for the last like few hours, there's been problems with the live chat. This looks weird. I don't like what's happening. Does it look fuzzy to you guys, or is it just me? Does it look fuzzy? To me, it looks horrible. Is it because of like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the cord. Let me, yeah, well, it looks dark because I turned the light off because it was acting crazy. It doesn't look fuzzy to y'all? Well, then it's just going to stay where it's at. It'll just stay like this then, because as long as it looks okay with you, it's fine. It doesn't matter if it looks different for me. Okay, then it's something over here on my end. Yeah, everyone's messages, there's some sort of freaking problem, guys. I didn't even notice. I mean, honestly, I don't think it would have mattered. We would have gone live regardless because this is like brand new information. But I did notice on my dashboard earlier, I should have never put my energy drink in the freezer because now it is exploding everywhere. I am ill prepared. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, the only thing that really matters here is what the thing looks like on the screen, because this is what we're going to be going over. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it just to make sure that this looks okay. Yeah, it looks pretty normal. I don't know. Maybe it's just something with my computer. I don't know. But this is the information about Dylan Mortensen and her phone activity that we've been waiting for. Now, I don't know where people heard that the records for Dylan were like gonna never, ever, ever come out ever. Saying that Hitler like sealed everything. A lot of people kept saying that. I never saw a document or anything like that. I know that it was something we were all expecting to happen because of how insane this case is. I know we all expected for them to not let us have more information. But look, here we are. Now, we do have the name for the contact at 351, and I'm slightly more confused. Maybe it's just because I don't know who the person is. I will say that I went to go try to find someone in Idaho with that name, and there are several. But of course, the name is not uncommon, like at all. Not for their, I guess you could say, racial community. That name is pretty common. I found some older, some younger. I found one of them that works a wellness center in somewhere in Idaho. Then I found another one that lived in Nampa, Idaho. But then I also saw one in Kerrville when I was looking up on Facebook. So the name is popular, not popular, but like common. So I can't sit here and say that I know who the frick the one is that Dylan knows. Yeah. So I'm sure somebody will eventually figure it out, but I don't know. I have no freaking idea who the person is, but we're going to go through all this information and I will tell you now, the messages between her and Eric Gower at 2:10 and 2:13, there's like 8 messages in between that they didn't tell us about. And all that we're seeing is like the fact that they happened, but we don't know anything about who it is, which is interesting too. Okay, let me get my face small and get this to where y'all see the full on document because that's the only part of this that matters. And yeah, there's a glitch, guys. It's not anything that anyone's doing when it comes to the chat. It is something, let me see if it still shows it to me on the back end. Yeah, issue sending live chat messages. It's been going on for over 2 hours now, apparently. People, look, 1,098 people have said that they have the same problem. So we're just going to have to like deal with it for now because there's nothing anybody can do. No one's getting blocked. No one's getting deleted. It's literally some sort of glitch in the system that nobody can do anything at all about. Let me go ahead and change the header real quick. Besides the craziness, how's everyone doing today? It's been an interesting day, that's for sure. Oh, now this thing is acting crazy. Hold on one second. What? Why is this doing this? My screen just went crazy. Oh, there it goes. Okay. When Mortensen's on records released I don't want to put this phone records released via court filing. So I'm going to show y'all the case summary too real quick. I guess maybe I should put something on here about there being a glitch with the chat too. Hold on. I just want everybody to like know so that they don't think they're getting deleted. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can't send super chats either, I think it said. Like super chats, not super stickers or the other one, but just the super chats and talking in here, apparently. Well, one of them came through. Thank you for the $2, which he was. But that's what it said on the back end, that there was issues with that too. Welcome, Tracy. Welcome, Tracy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, there's just a glitch. Yeah, I know there's some sort of stupid glitch going on. I don't freaking know. Okay, let me show y'all. Over here for 2025, it's the only one that pops up today that has a red new next to it. See right here? Exhibit 1A. But that's not the only thing that we should be seeing filed or at least like released. Because according to the case summary, there was a motion to redact or seal newly filed records for the second supplemental motion to reconsider. I don't know who this is from. And then Exhibit S1, I think that's the one that we're looking at right now, right? S1? No, well, this is A1. And then Exhibit S2 are things that have been filed since like the 9th that we haven't seen anything about. But the case summary itself was updated today at 10:05 a.m. their time. So I don't know. I guess maybe we're going to be seeing more stuff soon here. Because we still don't even have anything that we can see for the stuff that filed on 2/9. See, the last one that popped up was 1/29/26. So that is what it is, I guess. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start going over these. Welcome. Thank you for the 199 green girl. Oh, thank you for the 279 HS. And so much corruption has been here for a year. That's awesome. That's a long time to put up with me, bro. Yeah, so much deletion here. So much deletion here. Yeah, YouTube's acting super crazy. I don't know. There's been a lot going on with Amazon Web Services and Google. There's been a lot. Super lot. Okay. Y'all can see everything on here good, right? So this is just Dylan's phone records. This was released by the defense. So this is the first one we see where Dylan, and this is how it starts. It starts straight up with her asking Eric if he's out driving. And it just says, "Are you driving by chance?" I'm not going to like break down all of the information for all of these. So I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to be looking at, who sent it, where's it going, whatever the message is, and the time. Nothing else really honestly matters because it's just like standard stuff. So at 2:10, just like we were told, she sends a message, "Are you driving by chance?" Now I'm going to hop right down here real fast before I go back up, because look at the response. This is "I am," 2 words, super quick, at, where is it at? Well, okay, so this is actually weird. So this says at 2:13, but then it says it was read at 4:29 in the morning. Did she read this message then? See, this is weird to me. I didn't notice this at first. So I guess maybe we'll start back up here and then go back down, because now I'm slightly more confused. Because that makes no sense to me. Okay. So at 2:10, she sends Eric a message asking, "Are you driving tonight by chance?" These are multiple more messages that she had incoming and outgoing that they don't tell us about. This is at 2:11:17 incoming, 2:11:17 incoming, 2:11:32 outgoing, 2:11:38 incoming, another outgoing, and then 2 more incoming. And then it says, "I am," from Eric Gower. But she doesn't read it until 4:29 in the morning. So she sends him a message at 2:10 asking if he's driving, gets a response from him 3 minutes later, but doesn't read it until 4:29:17. Y'all are seeing that, right? Yeah, but that wouldn't make any sense for her to ask if he's driving and 3 minutes later ignore him. Especially since she's sitting there messaging other people. That doesn't make any sense. So did she only message him to ask that as some sort of like alibi-ish distraction? Because what are you doing not reading it until the crime's already occurred and now you're shaking your knees down in Bethany's room and then you read the message? You're so scared and freaked out right then and there that you don't have an Uber driver that you're reading the message from, and you're not like, "Bro, come get me right now." That just kind of gives me like even more of a like, you had a million chances to get out of there and you didn't. It very well could be a code. I understand that you can see messages without reading them, but why would you ask him if he was out driving and then ignore him 3 minutes later? And then read it after you go down to Bethany's room. That is definitely something that was never mentioned before. That she took over 2 hours to read the damn message. So it really makes me wonder what was all this? Like, is this other conversations with somebody else? Because like we see a lot of traffic coming in and out of those cameras, but we don't know who the hell is in the cars. We don't know if somebody got picked up behind that house, got taken somewhere, and then got brought back, because we can't see the parking area or the front door or the house itself at all. We just see cars going back and forth. So I'm really wondering, could this be somebody else? And look, a lot of people, I've never really thought that they left again. I've been one of the people that were like, no, they were in the house the whole time. As far as I'm understanding with my opinion anyway. A lot of people think they left. But I also am entertaining a lot more things that I really didn't entertain before as we're getting information, because some of the things are starting to make more sense. Like the scream that is heard, that we hear, now we know that Bethany heard a scream, what she's claiming is a week before the 11/16 interview, because that's when she gives that information. And she had somebody come pick her up from her house in the middle of the night because the scream freaked her out. And we're hearing that she's awake and doing things all during the time that scream is going on, which is what, 15 minutes before these messages? So then they have no other information from Dylan, from technically, I guess, this 2/12/09, because she doesn't read his message until 4:29. And then it drops into the contact. Now, the contact's name, I don't know if they didn't redact it because it's misspelled, or if they just didn't redact it because for some reason they just didn't redact it. But it says right here, Brittany Fernandez. Contact added 3:51:03 a.m. Brittany Fernandez. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Like I said, I looked around a little bit. I tried to see if I could see who that was. I don't know. There's a bunch that show up in Idaho. There's a few that show up outside of Idaho. I don't know if it was some sort of contact. I don't know who the frick you'd be adding to your phone at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how you're sitting there saying that you were going in and out of sleep or trying to go to sleep or whichever story you're telling, depending on what day of the week it is. But then you're also adding someone random to your phone, because notice that there's no like activity before that. So if you're just like randomly adding somebody to your phone and you're not seeing web-based activity, no cookie settings, and we're going to see that because when it comes to social media stuff, they have cookies and other things actually added into the time logs. So we're supposed to just believe that for what is that, like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, that suddenly she just like, oh, I need to add this contact to my phone real quick. Where's all the information that got cut off right here? Because obviously this is a table. And I don't know who decided to go in and do all the highlights. That's not me. That's how this damn thing came through. Did Dylan pay a hacker to break the chat right now? Thanks for the $2, Witchy. Probably. She got enough money. She made 6 figures being a liar. I'm sure she could pay somebody to do something stupid. Snapchats, not that I noticed. When I took the words, and thank you for the 199 Lady Di. When I took the word and like Googled it, it just basically said Apple message. Yeah, like when you do this, it just basically talks about like Apple. But then it also mentioned stuff about like the camera. And see, all I did was like copy and paste it in here. So I'm assuming that it's just something, that it's just like the actual bubble message from the iPhone. That's the only thing I can think of. Because that's what it says in there. I don't think it's Snap. I think they do mention something about Snap later on in this, but yeah, as far as I can tell, those are like actual iPhone stuff. It's Snap on Apple. Snap on Apple. Okay, well, I need to like verify that because that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so it does say that it is an app. Okay. Okay, so this person said, when I turned on restrictions / time limit for social media on my new iPhone, an app that I have never heard of showed up called com.toyopagroup.peekaboo. It showed up among my few other apps. The app has no icon and is not available in my app library. Apparently, it has both used data and been active on my iPhone. Apple support has no idea what this is, and they do not want to answer any questions. Well, that's freaking crazy. And the answer back in 2021 says that Toyota Group is the company who makes Snapchat, and Peekaboo is the original name for Snapchat. So they're still using shadow names instead of changing their stuff to stuff that actually makes sense. Why would you keep your shit old like that just to cause confusion? Okay, well, you're a company that needs to get your life together. So it's like Snapchat on Apple, like a way that you can message together, I'm guessing, like message bundling. Because I know that Facebook at some point a long time ago, when I actually had a personal Facebook and I actually used the app on my phone, I remember it asked if I wanted to connect my text messages to my Facebook messages to where like I could text my contacts that didn't have Facebook via Messenger. I didn't like that. I guess it's sort of like the same thing. Yeah, it's like Snapple. Yeah. Yeah. My stuff doesn't say peekaboo from Snapchat on Android. Yeah, my Androids, I don't know anything about iPhones. Plus, I also don't use Snapchat. I don't think I've ever even seen Snapchat like internally, honestly. So yeah. But all these messages, in between the messages between her asking Eric and him responding, and then her not even reading it till 4:29. That's crazy to me. Okay. So yeah, here's the Brittany Fernandez person. I don't know. Somebody will eventually figure it out. I am curious though. 1 second. Let me look at the witness lists and see if her name is on there at all before we move forward. Because it'd be interesting to see if she's somebody that they were going to call up at any point in time. Let's look at the states and the defense lay list. So this is the one for the defendant. No Brittany. This is the states. They're in alphabetical order by last name. So she would be right here. Whoever, Kane right here. This is the guy that actually owns the Linda Lane cameras. This is Kane guy. Yeah. So whoever she is, she wasn't going to be called by either one. So that's interesting. Now, again, I did find somebody who has like a wellness place, and it is in Idaho. And if I'm correct, I believe Dylan was going to school for sports medicine, something like that, I think. Maybe it was something physical health related as far as I can remember. So maybe that's what she was doing, but I don't see this person anywhere. But again, we don't have any social media or web activity. So for them to just be like, pop contact after like nothing for an hour and 45 is weird. That's true too. So it kind of makes you want to rethink some of the BFs. I haven't seen anything new about that since a couple days ago when Sarah posted the response from the plaintiffs about their argument with moving over to the Fed case. Let me see if she's posted anything else about it. Yeah, there's like an oral argument that was requested. She posted the documents back on the 21st. I posted this morning the WSU response from WSU actually that we needed to catch up on, and then we were going to be going over this. If that's true, that's going to be crazy. I don't know if he'll actually speak because he stood silent this entire time. But I'd like to see a document that says he's going to be called as a witness. That'd be kind of crazy. I'd like to see the document on that. Okay, so then it jumps from adding the contact, and I don't like how they put all this. It's like a kid playing some sort of, I don't even know. It's just like looks ridiculous. So then they go from 3:51 where the contact was added. Then it goes to 4:19:07 where she gets a call from Bethany. Now I'll tell you guys now, tonight was supposed to be the channel's new sponsor in a video about why didn't Dylan call Bethany. So since we had to go live, that one's pushed back to tomorrow evening. And the question stems from this right here, 4:19. You're telling me that you're hearing all the screaming, that you're hearing Kaylee, that you're seeing a guy in all black, but you're not trying to contact anyone. The first person that reaches out to anybody is Bethany, to Dylan. So my biggest question in this video, and I wanted it to be its own subject, is what would the story have been if Bethany would have never heard that sound, would have never been woken up, and would have never called Dylan? Because it's almost like Dylan had to come up with something. And if you look at the timestamps on the videos of the 4:19 and then the time that the car leaves, it's almost like Bethany being awake and Dylan getting the phone call that Bethany's awake was like a trigger for somebody to leave the house. The timing is just too perfect, in my opinion. And if Bethany isn't yelling out, and if Dylan is in her room and they're just like talking on the phone, how would the person in the house know that anybody else was up? I don't trust the entire story. They haven't given me a reason to, literally at all. So again, this video coming out, I really want y'all to give me what y'all really think based off of facts the story would have been, because I'd like to go over them in another video, because pretty much everything is on the table at this point, and we have enough proof, we have enough factual information to sort of make something make sense out of it. So if Bethany would have never woke up and made this 419 phone call to Dylan, what would have happened? Bethany would have just stayed asleep down in her room? Would she have just woke up the next morning and Dylan would have woke up the next morning and Bethany would have just like stumbled across everything and Dylan would have played stupid? Because look, I say a lot of stuff about both of them because like y'all are ignorantly immature for your age. I had to grow up so freaking fast. I had to. So when I see how pathetically immature these two are, I am like shook, because there was never a time in my life where I was that immature, where I was that freaking out of my mind with no common sense. I had to learn how to be an adult really, really, really early. So there's really just no excuse to me when it comes to the ridiculous shit that we hear here. But when it comes to Bethany, I feel like she's just kind of airheaded. I feel like Dylan is the one that has the most suspicion on her, because it seems like Bethany fell back asleep, back and forth. Her phone activity actually has pieces that are missing. Well, if she's asleep and she's out of it because she's been drinking, you don't think Dylan could sneak in and out of her room? Every time Bethany remembers being like waking up, she remembers Dylan being wide awake and doing something on her phone or just being awake. There's no telling what actually happened in that house. But when it comes to who has all of the suspicion, in my opinion, it's Dylan. It's Dylan. Because would she have ever even alerted Bethany that there was a man in the house if Bethany wouldn't have called her? And I will remind you, Dylan is claiming that she is seeing her roommate on the floor with no freaking pants on. Thong, no pants, on the ground, man in black, walks out the house, and as a woman, her brain doesn't click that something might be wrong. Bullshit. Bullshit. She also lies to Officer Nunes and says that she called Bethany after she hears all this stuff and sees the guy. No, you didn't. Miss Ma'am, no, you did not. You didn't. You weren't going to alert anyone. You didn't start making phone calls to try to figure out what was going on until after you got the phone call from Bethany. So you heard the screams, you heard the footsteps, you heard the crying in the bathroom, and oh my God, but you didn't do nothing. Bethany called you at 4:19, and now here we go. Now you're calling Xana. Now you're calling Kaylee. Now you give a shit. I don't like this girl, bro. I don't like this girl, bro. I just don't. Oh, thank you for being here for so long. I appreciate that. Oh, 10 gifted memberships. Enid, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. It's on the Case of Interest website for free and for everyone to grab. Well, my daughter is 19 and has lots of critical thinking. So maybe it's just good genes. I don't know what to tell you, but these two are not. They're very bubbly. They're very bubble-headed. Very bubble-headed. Okay. So now we have the other call to Bethany, and then the next call over to Maddie at 4:21. And then this is where she starts sending text messages over to Bethany about how no one is answering. And notice here that the delivered and the read times are pretty much the same, unlike the one with Eric Gower. So I'd really, really, really love to know why she didn't open that message after getting an answer, obviously, that she wanted. I'd understand her not looking at it if he would have said, no, I'm home. But the fact that obviously he's doing what she's asking if he's doing for a reason, it's just odd. It's just really weird to me. Okay, so here's the I'm really confused one over to Bethany at 4:22. Then there's the just Kaylee, just sending the name Kaylee over to Kaylee, which is kind of odd in itself to just like text the person's name to their own self. I've never just like texted someone's name alone in a message to their own self. Like I have to remind them what their name is. Like that's just an odd message, but whatever. And then what's going on at 4:22. And then we have from Bethany over to Dylan is where we start getting, yeah, dude, WTF. And at this point, it's been about, what is that, like 4 minutes since the 4:19 call from Bethany. And again, Dylan wasn't doing a damn thing about trying to call anybody and see about anything that was going on until after Bethany gave her a freaking call, which is just insane to me. Now, here's the conversation about Xana wearing all black. Now, remember, there was like a 41-second or 43-second conversation between the two of them. And I'm going to assume it is the one up here. But that might not even be correct, because there is something missing in context when it comes to them talking about Xana being in all black. Now, we do know that she was wearing all black and that Dylan is claiming to have seen someone in all black. So she would have probably maybe then said something to her on the phone, and now Bethany is like responding back after having that conversation. That's the only thing that ever made sense. Then the whole, I'm freaking out right now, and keep this in mind. Keep all of this in mind, which I know most of you guys already know this, but keep in mind that I'm freaking out right now, and oh my God, what's happening? And oh my God, I'm so scared. Da, 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 da. Okay? Because when she sits down to start doing who knows what with those pictures and videos on her phone, it's literally been 40 minutes since this shit went down. And she's already taking pictures and videos and doing who knows freaking what after she's already gone down to Bethany's room. This is just so ridiculous how they're just going to make us this pissed off 3.5 almost years later on some bullshit. Like, seriously. So then we have the other one. No, it's like a ski mask almost at 4:23. Then we have from Bethany over to Dylan, and it just says STFU, which is shut the F up. And then actually, which is the ones that we've already seen. We've seen all of these already. There's no new messages, by the way. Like, whatever's in here is all stuff that we've already seen. Like, he had something over his head and a little and mouth. Bethany, I'm not kidding. I'm so freaked out. And then she says, Bethany then says, so am I. Both of them are sitting there very aware of the situation, and neither one of them are doing a damn thing, which, again, Bethany had no issue calling someone in the middle of the night and waking them up to come and pick her up a week before 11/16 when the interview took place, because the scream freaked her out. So you're going to tell me, A, that you didn't hear that scream at 2:27, which I don't believe. Then you're going to try to act like you are so scared at this point, along with somebody else who's so scared at this point. And collectively, y'all just kind of like choose not to do shit. That's why it's all so hard to give Bethany such a hard pass, because as bubble-headed as I feel that she is, how are you going to sit there and be just as bad of a cry wolf as Dylan, and on the one night that y'all actually needed to get off your asses and act, neither one of you do? Y'all have no problem crying wolf. Oh my God, there was a noise in the kitchen. Come over, hurry, fast, quick. Oh my God, I just heard a scream. Can you come pick me up? I can't sleep here tonight. But y'all both collectively got shit going on, and both of y'all just sitting there twiddling your damn thumbs. I can't be the only one that sits back and is just still jaw on the floor trying to figure out what the hell is actually going on here, even after all this time. Because there's no reality where this makes any sense. Regardless of if you think that Kohberger is guilty or not, how can you sit here and make excuses for this? So serious. So then Bethany says, come to my room. Run. And then down here, run down here. Now this is where Dylan tries to call Ethan, and this is at 4:24. And of course, we don't have anything. But then it shows this right here, this message. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to assume that it's to someone else, or else they would have it in this thing right here. And it's just like the ones in between the messages between her and Eric earlier, outgoing. But nothing about a response, I guess. Nothing about a response, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what we have. We're only on page 15, and there's 49 pages. So let's continue. Yeah, I know, but it's better than being alone. That's Bethany over to Dylan about trying to get her to go down to her room. Then we have an outgoing call at 4:27, but it doesn't say who. One would only assume that at 4:27, if there is a call going out from Dylan's phone and they're not telling us that it's Kaylee, Bethany, Maddie, Xana, or Ethan, who is it? Who is she calling at 4:27 in the morning? That's not Bethany and not one of the victims. I don't remember hearing about an additional phone call. Then we have another outgoing message. And again, this is to somebody that's not in the house. This is not Bethany or one of the victims, or it wouldn't be laid out like this. At 4:27, there's an outgoing message, and then there's another one 10 seconds later. Who is this? Who is this? And then we have Kaylee. That she tries to call Kaylee at 4:27, 7 seconds after this outgoing message. And then we have another outgoing message at 4:27:52. Again, no, I don't think so. I think if it was her dad, they'd have it in here because we have the messages between her and her father that morning. They're going to be down lower. I know it says UTC, but if you look at the next line, it says UTC -8. It's the right time zone. So there's definitely phone activity happening that has nothing to do with Bethany or the victims themselves. So she's calling somebody outside of that house at 4:27. What are you telling them? Did they show up? Did they come over and pick you up? What is this? Well, this is the stuff right here that I feel like this is about as far as our information is going to go. Unless some sort of miracle happens, this is about as far as the details are going to go. I don't think we're ever going to find out who this additional person is. Unless they come forward and say, hey, I'm the one that she called that morning with proof. I don't think we're going to know. But it's definitely not Bethany. And it's not one of the victims. So here she is calling Xana again at 4:28. Now she's messaging Kaylee, please answer at 4:32. And then we have 30 minutes later, okay? 4:32, she sends that last message to Kaylee. 30 minutes later, she's taking pictures. MOV is like a video. There's videos being created. So for the next hour and a half, 30 minutes after she has ran down to Bethany's room, after she has told her and Bethany have told each other that they are freaking out, that they're so freaking scared, blah, 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 blah. 30 minutes later, for the next hour and a half, she's taking pictures. She took one, she modified it, she deleted whatever this one was, she deleted whatever this one was. What is an HEIC file? What is an HEIC file? HEIC file. Another effort. File on iPhone. A high efficiency image coding is the default photo format on iPhones, offering better compression and quality than JPEG, but it may require conversion for compatibility with other devices. Okay. So this is regular JPEG, and these two have the same numbers, but whatever 4953 and 4954 are a different size. And then whatever this is, I think I saw someone say something about how this means that like there was some sort of other editing that happened. I'm not getting that like file type. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting like a result. Would I copy and paste that? Okay, well, it's also a different file type. So let me do this first. I'm just trying to see what it actually says about. See, okay, so that's not. Yeah, it's. I mean, I can just tell it's some sort of editing, but is it done like a? It has to mean that it's done like a certain way. But it's not really just giving me the information for it. So what's also the difference between? No, those are the same. HEIC file. So then it must have also happened here too, because these are videos. See, and then picture, 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 picture. So let's see how many were created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images were created. And then 1, 2 videos. Okay. So then 2 hours later, less than 2 hours. This is like an hour and a half later. So 6:25 is the last time that an image was created, and it was image number 3914. An hour and a half maybe later, at 8:05, is when she's on Instagram. So I don't know what she was doing for an hour and a half, but it was probably not sleeping. Probably not sleeping. Like, you're not up and doing all this and then you're trying to tell me that you're asleep. I'm just not believing you, especially since every time Bethany claims that she woke up, Dylan was awake and doing something. That's in her interviews. So I don't know what this actually means right here, other than she was on it. Like, she was just on the application of the Instagram app on her iPhone. But it doesn't really say or give any information for what it was that she did. Like, it doesn't say that she posted. It doesn't look like it's saying that she posted a video or a photo. Yeah, it looks like it's just movement, I guess. She was on it at 8:05 and then got off of it at 8:06. So just a minute. Okay. And then here it says she got back on it at 8:10 and then got back off it at 8:11 and then start again at 8:13, back off of it at 8:14, back on at 8:14. These must be like messages back and forth. These must be messages. So then start again at 8:14, end time 8:14. There's something here that they have blocked out. I wonder what that is. So then it starts again at 10 o'clock. So there's something that she's doing in between 8:14 and 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, she's back on Instagram, but just for like a second. Or no, this is both start times. That's kind of strange. They're only a second apart, but whatever. End time a few seconds later. And then log entry, outgoing message on the iPhone at 10 o'clock. Outgoing message again at 10:01. Outgoing message again at 10:01. Outgoing message again at 10:01. Incoming message at 10:01. Incoming at 10:01. Outgoing at 10:01. Damn, they're fast going back and forth every like literally 3 seconds. It's back and forth. That's wild. 10:01 again, outgoing. 10:01 again, outgoing. 10:01 an entry for an outgoing message again. Now we're back on Instagram. 10:01:53 in time 10:02:08. So this is probably her responding to a message of some sort. Then start time at 10:03, in time 1 second later, and then cookies. That this is where she went to Indeed. She went to Indeed at 10:03, and the cookies got stored. Indeed again. Indeed again. Now you can send messages on Indeed. I'm assuming that it works like LinkedIn. Do you guys know? Because I know that people can send messages back and forth on LinkedIn, because Olivia came out and showed us messages that Kaylee had sent to her through LinkedIn, like a messenger on LinkedIn. So she could have been, I guess, if Indeed works the same, messaging somebody on there, or is it literally just job searching? That's so freaking weird. You don't sleep all night. You swear you saw all these things, that you were just scared shitless. And the first thing you do at 10 o'clock is start looking for a job. That is just so freaking weird. 10:03, 10:03, 10:03, 10:03. It's the same exact thing, like the exact same 10:03 and 55 seconds. And then it goes down to 10:03 and 56 seconds, and it does it again twice. And then at 57 seconds, 57 seconds, 57 seconds. And then it goes to 10:04:02, 10:04:54. Now we have an incoming message. Another incoming message. And then at 10:05, another incoming message. They clocked out something right here. Then we have an outgoing message at 10:05. Outgoing message at 10:05. Outgoing message at 10:05. Incoming message at 10:19. 10:19 incoming. See, like there's no way that I'm going to sit here and believe that you're awake and the sun is now up and you're just chilling in Bethany's room. You're not getting up to go pee. You're not getting up to go back into your own freaking bedroom. It is now bright and lit up in that house. You have your own bedroom, and you want me to believe that you're just sitting in the same spot for hours? No. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Outgoing message at 10:05. Incoming message at 10:19. Incoming message at 10:19. Incoming message at 10:20. Outgoing at 10:20. Incoming at 10:20. Outgoing at 10:20. Incoming at 10:20. Incoming at 10:20. And then there's something that they blocked out right here. It almost looks like it's the exact same that they blocked out up here with the way that the lettering looks. Oh my God, it was way up here, wasn't it? Yeah, right here. Because it has like a line and then an E that looks like an E, or it could be an F, I guess. But that has the same sort of line right there. So I wonder what the frick that is. So then incoming at 10:20, outgoing at 10:20, incoming 10:20, incoming 10:20, incoming 10:20, incoming 10:20, outgoing 10:20, incoming 10:20, incoming 10:20, incoming 10:20, outgoing 10:20, incoming 10:20. Who the frick is she talking to? Who's she talking to? Incoming 10:20, incoming 10:20, incoming 10:20, outgoing 10:21, outgoing 10:21, outgoing 10:21, outgoing 10:21, outgoing 10:21, outgoing 10:22, outgoing 10:22, outgoing 10:22, outgoing 10:22, outgoing 10:23. Then we have Dylan finally at 10:23, the same exact 20 seconds later, 22 seconds after she's having a conversation with someone who is not her father, not Bethany, and not the victims, because they have her father's messages already in here. There'd be no reason for them not to be letting us know that that was it. So who is she talking to? Who is she talking to? That's a lot of conversation to be having. On top of the fact that now we know that she also contacted somebody that was not her father, not Bethany, and not the victims at 4:27. Who did she call? Who did she call? Outgoing, outgoing, outgoing. It's almost like whoever it was, she wasn't getting a response. See, even here, this is outgoing, 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 and then finally an incoming message at 10:01 in the morning. So whoever she was contacting at 4:27 wasn't even answering the phone. That's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. So now we have Dylan asking Maddie, are you up at 10:23? Then we have her back on Instagram at 10:24 and then off of it at 10:25. We have an incoming message at 10:30, an incoming message at 10:30, another incoming message at 10:30, something that they took out right here. Another incoming message at 10:30, outgoing at 10:30, outgoing at 10:30, outgoing at 10:31, outgoing at 10:31. Whatever this log entry is here for this, they don't want us to see it. Something about Wi-Fi. Like I can see the WIFI right here. This looks like it might say Apple ID and then Wi-Fi. This section right here. Ooh, can I copy it? Will it let me? Or is it just going to tell me gobbledygook? Yeah, it just says TURE, and that's not at all what that says. Not at all what that says. Oh, let me see what I missed over here. Yeah, Peekaboo is Snapchat's parent company. The same way that YouTube is owned by Google, but Google goes by Alphabet. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 10 more gifted memberships. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for the $4.99. Hey, it's me. What do you think about the 0 seconds for Maddie and Kaylee's calls? Well, they didn't answer. They were deceased. They didn't answer the phone. So yeah, they should be 0. But there really shouldn't be like a time at all. But I guess it logs it maybe as 0 seconds because we know they didn't answer the phone. But I also remember, and put a 1 in the chat if you guys remember this. When Christy talked about this before, she had said something about how like she was told that there were missed calls between Dylan's phone and Kaylee's phone. But because at the time they could only like log in and see stuff, they couldn't see missed calls. They could only see calls that were answered. So as far as the family was concerned, there were no missed calls from Dylan because they didn't have access to Kaylee's phone. So they got all this from Dylan, plus the calls would have been on Kaylee's phone, but yeah, they weren't answered. So that's the only thing that would make sense to me for that. Thank you for the $9.99, Brianna. Hear me out. What if Dylan rugged Bethany, and what if that contact ad was the person Eric had given the last ride to after being at his house? I don't even know. I don't know what to think because there's so much missing information. I don't know. I honestly don't think Eric Gower has anything to do with the whole thing. And I mean, already he just seemed like a weasel, but he didn't even read the message until like, or she didn't even read his response until like 4:20, whatever the time was. So it'd be kind of difficult for them to kind of like coordinate, and if they weren't speaking. I mean, granted, they could be hiding stuff from us, but I feel like since they've already given us the fact that they were speaking and they are giving us that information on paper, there'd be no reason for them to hide any further communication if there was further communication. Now, as for was something maybe slipped to Bethany to make her maybe not be so awake? I don't know. Possible. I don't like the fact that Dylan didn't call Bethany. There's nothing anyone can say that's going to make me change my mind on why the hell did you not call anyone in that house? When you're hearing screaming, someone's here. It's okay, I'm going to help you in some nefarious voice. You're hearing all this stuff going on. You're hearing Murphy barking, and you're hearing all these things at your own admittance. But you don't make a phone call to anyone. You don't grab your phone and call Kaylee. You don't call Bethany. You don't call Maddie. You don't call Xana. You don't call Ethan. You don't call anybody until after you get a phone call. Like an oops, holy shit, someone's awake type thing. That's just where my mind goes. That's where my mind goes. And people need to stop pretending like these little girls are incapable of things just because they're little blondies. Seriously, do some research if you think that they're not capable of crazy. Because I promise you, I promise you they are. Not one of the 3 girls answered back. Yeah, at that point, they were already gone. At that point, they were already gone, Miss JoJo. They were already gone. But just the simple fact again, what was Dylan doing? What was she actually doing? Not calling around like she says. In her story to Noons, she literally states that she starts calling around and trying to get a hold of people. Then she calls Bethany, and then she goes down there. That's not how it took place. You didn't call anyone until you got a phone call first. That's bothersome to me because the person who called you didn't hear any of the shit that you claim that you heard, but then you're claiming that you didn't hear the noise that she heard too. And how is that possible? You yourself said you could hear everything in that house. And if something sounds like a damn firecracker, but you can hear crying and whimpering in a bathroom that's all the way down a hallway in a whole other literal section of the house than your room is, which, by the way, how the hell did she know that it was in the bathroom? You realize that, like, if she's standing there in front of her door, that she would only be able to hear the fact that that noise was coming from down that hallway. Unless she walked down that hallway and saw people in that bathroom, how would she know that it was the bathroom and not Xana's room? The fact that she was always really specific about that's always been really weird to me because I don't see how she could know that. 7 months, Red Riding Hood. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the 199 Scorpius. Yeah, tell me about it. Because she wasn't. Because she wasn't. And that's the lie. That's always been the lie. I don't understand why lie. I don't get it. Like, if they're really just so innocent and there's nothing that needs to be hidden here, then why did we lie to the first responding officer the second that he got to the scene? And I know that most of you guys are aware now that there is another copy of the Whitcomb 911 call. From how I'm understanding it, Christie's Chaos, which is another sort of like body cam channel, is basically what she's come into when it comes to the case, sort of like Connor. Lots of FOIAs, lots of videos. She's got like 2 channels full of videos of stuff. As far as I'm understanding it, she had a FOIA responded to with Whitcomb 911, and this version is so much more clear. This version is so much more clear. Now, I know enough about Christy and the way that she has handled her channel in the past that she's not going in there and manipulating anything. I don't have any reason to believe that she's gone in there and done anything to make this more clear. We need to remember that the only video or whatever that we have of this came from mainstream media getting it released to them, and then they put it out into the ether. So we don't know what the hell they did to it. We don't know what was done to it. But whatever version that she ended up having, it is so much more clear. You can now concretely tell that they walked into that house and they were, all of them were physically looking at Xana and calling her name. They're looking at her with the light coming in every window in that house, and nobody on the phone is mentioning how she's covered in blood. And they're going in the house. You hear Dylan say, we have to. She's not breathing. She's not waking up. You can hear Hunter, Ethan, Xana. Remember how it sounded like 2 situations happened before and during the 911 call that didn't make any freaking sense? Because you can clearly hear them going in that house and looking straight at that girl. And they're still not saying a word. Again, no pants, gray sweater, covered in stab wounds. You could see it in the unredacted, in the not redacted photo, that the wounds were very, very visible on her sweater. So we've got Hunter farther away from the phone, calling Ethan's name, calling Xana's name, but also, mind you, he tells the police officer Noons when he gets there that he's only checked on Xana and hasn't had a chance to check on Ethan yet. Well, we sure hear him trying to check on him on the call. He says his name. I don't know if they just like didn't think that this information was going to come out and there wouldn't be any questions or what the scenario was here, but there's way too many things that are just not right. There's way too many things that just don't sit right. Yeah, and the poor Kaylee thing. That's clear as day. Now, some people think she says something else, and she very well could be. It's really difficult to hear. But to me, it sounds like she's saying poor Kaylee. And the simple fact that her entire story is about Kaylee hearing somebody, and oh, I heard Kaylee with Murphy, and oh, I heard Kaylee screaming, and oh, I heard Kaylee going up and down the stairs. But then the cops get there and they're just like, I don't know if anyone else is home. I'm so fed up. I'm so fed up. Doesn't mention Maddie, doesn't mention Kaylee, but her entire story about pretty much at 4 a.m. is all about Kaylee. But you don't even tell the cop the possibility that she's home. You heard her screaming. You heard her screaming for her life and being chased, apparently, but you're like not even going to bother. I just don't understand. I don't understand the stupid. I just don't. Thank you for the $4.99, Scorptius. Wait, wasn't her phone about to die? Her phone health data would have shown if her phone was on the charger when she got to Bethany's room. Yes, that's true too. Now, I don't know if that's just portions of stuff that they're just not giving us. I do expect there to be a lot more analytical paperwork when it comes to this, but I know that it definitely will show up in your back-end analyticals if your phone is charged in or not. So for her to say that her phone was almost dead, I mean, they probably had the same phone, iPhone chargers or whatever. Maybe she just charged it down to Bethany's room. It's always just been like a devil's advocate type thing. But we also don't know for sure if her phone was really dead or not, or if that's just something that she was saying. Because you can't trust anything that she says. You can't trust a damn thing that this girl has said the entire time. The entire time. This is just so crazy. Okay. Did we go through this part already? 24, 25, 30, 30, and 30. Yeah, all the 30s. We sure did go through all the 30s. Okay. Okay, so then right here we have another incoming message at 10:45, another incoming message 10:45. What was the gap there? So we have outgoing message at 10:31, and then something about Apple ID and Wi-Fi, which is interesting because wouldn't you already be on your own Wi-Fi? So I don't know what this could be right here. This looks like DAT maybe. I don't know, but this right here is definitely Apple. These little lines right here, and this is Apple ID. You can see it right here, and then this is definitely Wi-Fi. But I can't tell what the rest of the words are. I can't tell what the rest of the words are. Okay, incoming at 10:45, incoming at 10:45, outgoing at 10:45, and then on Instagram at 10:56. Start time, and they didn't give us the end time, or is it this right here? 11:04 end time. So she's on Instagram while she also has two messages that come into her phone, and then she's on Instagram until 11:04. Then an outgoing message at 11:04, Instagram again at 11:07, start time, end time, 2 seconds later. It just must be messages that's being checked. 2 seconds is really quick for it to be messages that you're also replying to though. So that's kind of fast in my opinion. Then Instagram again at 11:09 and ends at 11:10 and 14. So that was a little bit longer. Instagram again at 11:11 and just a few seconds later off again. 11:14 Instagram again and 2 seconds later off again. At 11:15 incoming message, another incoming message, and then an outgoing message a few seconds later. Another outgoing message at 11:15, and then incoming at 11:15, incoming at 11:15, outgoing at 11:15, and then incoming at 11:17, incoming at 11:17, and then outgoing at 11:29. Now, this is now Dylan sending the same sort of message to Kaylee. Are you up? This is at 11:29. Then 11:29, she's on Instagram. Then incoming message at 11:29, another incoming message at 11:29, Instagram again at 11:30, and then outgoing message at 11:30. Outgoing at 11:30, outgoing at 11:30, incoming at 11:32, and another one at 11:32, outgoing at 11:32, outgoing at 11:32, again at 11:32, another outgoing. Now this is where she gets on Yik Yak. She gets on a Yik Yak at 11:35. She gets on TikTok at 11:36. And then it says Musical.ly right here one more time. So there was something else that happened on TikTok right here too. Again with TikTok at 11:36. Is this like her shopping? Is this her shopping? Light shop ads? Is this her TikTok shopping? 11:36 again. 11:36, something else that has to do with TikTok. I don't know what this part is. TikTok APIS. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Musical.ly, it's TikTok now. It's so funny because whenever I hear people actually like talk about Musical.ly, all I can see is that like green lizardy alien guy. You remember that one little dance video that used to be all about Musical.ly? That's like the only thing that's in my brain. That's the only thing that's in my brain. So then again, 1136, TTAPIS. See, this is TikTok still because it's the same APIS as up here. It's just like abbreviated differently now. TikTok APIS is what? It's just the interface for TikTok. It's their programming interface. That's all that is. See? That's all that is. Okay, so then we have more TikTok until 1136. More TikTok. I'm going to assume this is maybe someone's username. Byteoverc.com from TikTok. What the frickety frack is you? It's a tracker. Byteoverc.com is nothing but trackers. That's interesting. Now this says that it's formerly known as Vine and that it's legit, but then it says like it's full of trackers. Byteoverc.com has a registry domain. I'm not clicking on this stuff. See, and then right here it's talking about byteoverc.com on a virus website. Says the domain byteoverc.com is associated with ByteDance, primarily functioning for surveys and extensive tracking across various platforms. So it's the TikTok trackers. So then we have it again here. We got it twice right here. And then TikTok again at 1136, TikTok again at 1136, TikTok again at 1136. 1136 TikTok, 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 and then we have these two. Lots of TikTok. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. All this is TikTok, and it's all 1136 and almost like the exact same second. Musicali TikTok at 1136, the same. This is shop ads from TikTok. TikTok, TikTok. It's all TikTok. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. All of it's TikTok. Keep on going. Come on now. And it's still 1136 and 08. That's crazy. It's all the same thing. So whatever she was doing on TikTok, it was like repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. TikTok, TikTok. Are we ever going to stop seeing TikTok? Musicali, shop ads. Oh my God. We only got 7 pages left and all this shit's TikTok. This is crazy. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. All of it. Okay. So now we finally have an incoming message at 1137. When was the last outgoing message? Because it's been like a hot minute since we saw anything other than TikTok. Come on. Okay, so the last outgoing message was at 1132. And then my God. Where did it go? What did I say? 1132? 5 minutes later, she gets a response. I'm going to assume it's a response because we had an outgoing and now we have an incoming. We have another incoming 1 second later, then an outgoing at 11:37, incoming at 11:38, incoming at 11:38, incoming at 11:38, incoming at 11:38. No, outgoing at 11:38, and then another one outgoing as well. Ooh. They did not do very well trying to block this freaking number. And it's something about Dylan. Okay, so this is like 1308 something 736007 is what it sort of looks like. It's hard to tell what number that could be. The first word is definitely hey. Something, something, when can I call you today? And something, something. That might be the messages between her and her dad because they do have those right here. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so her father, that's the 6007 number. Her father messages her at 11:39, just a few freaking minutes before she calls, what's her name? Emily. Emily. So then you're going to see, hey, DMM, when I call you today and just chat, when can I call you today and just chat? Does one work or is two better? So your dad calls you DMM? Dylan what Mortensen? Dylan Marie Mortensen? Your dad calls you by your initials? Weird. Okay. So then we have a response where she says two works better. So just mere minutes before she calls Emily and is like, oh my God, no one's waking up. Please come help. We don't know what to do. You've got your dad texting you. Okay, I'll call you at 2, just 5 or 10 minutes. Want to catch up. This feels fake as shit. This feels fake as shit. Yeah, I could see a nickname. Like my dad calls me Pumpkin. So whenever he does text me, it's a nickname. It's my nickname. But to be called DMM by your father, freaking weird. Freaking weird. So I don't know. This is just weird to me that she's just super nonchalant. She's not saying anything about, hey, Dad, can you just go ahead and call me right now? Some crazy shit went down last night. I don't know what to do. Like, why do we not see her less than 10 minutes before she calls these people? Like 10 minutes before she calls these people. Yeah, why not tell Dad that you're freaking out? Why not tell Dad that you've been locked in the basement all night and you're freaking out? Or in the bottom room on the first floor with Bethany all night and you're freaking out? Why not say that to your father? Now, see, at 11:50, we have Jenna replying bro to Dylan, because at this point, Bethany and Jenna had been texting each other and they were on the phone. And what Bethany said, or the way that Jenna put it in her interview, was that Bethany was telling her some stuff on the phone. And she was like, well, do I need to come and pick you guys up? And she's just like, hold on a minute, and hangs up on Jenna. Hangs up on her. And then it's like, instead of being like, well, hold on a second, and like talking to Dylan right then and there, whatever the conversation is between Bethany and Dylan, she doesn't want Jenna to hear it. So she hangs the phone up on her. She doesn't say bye or nothing like that. Jenna's asking a question and then she gets freaking clicked on, which is weird to me. And then apparently just like a text message after that. Like, why the frick did you hang up on me? Why couldn't you just answer the question with me on the phone? I always felt that was weird. And see, again, this is at 11:40 that she's messaging her dad. And at this point, Bethany has already told Jenna again, and now Jenna is now messaging. So while like Bethany is on the phone telling Jenna all the stuff, she's having these text message conversations with her father and acting like nothing is happening. I'm so tired of this girl. Then on Instagram at 11:44, Instagram 11:45, Instagram 11:47, Facebook 11:47, Instagram 11:48, Instagram 11:49, ended 3 seconds later. Instagram again 11:49, Instagram again at 11:50. Then we have an outgoing call to Emily Allant right here at 11:50. See what I mean? You're sitting there. You're sitting there orchestrating who is going to get called, who is going to be the one to discover the bodies, who is going to be the one to take responsibility for seeing the scene. Why else are you not telling your dad that you're in the middle of telling another friend of yours, along with your roommate, about the scary shit that just went on that night, and one of your friends is about to come and pick you up? Why are you not telling that to your father? This is so stupid. Do you need me to come and get you? Jenna, again, to Dylan. So I will repeat, as she is messaging her father and pretending like everything's fine and telling him, no, 2's fine. Call me later. Call me later, Dad. Call me later. It's because what? She doesn't want him to know what's going on? That's like the only innocent version of this, is that he really was just messaging her to see what was going on and catch up with his kid. And she's hiding shit from him because they're having the conversation with Jenna as she's having messages back and forth with her dad simultaneously. And she's not acting like anything is happening. It's just psychotic. It's literally psychotic. That's crazy. I don't give a shit. That is freaking crazy. So then she gets back on Instagram at 11:54. Instagram again, 11:54, 11:54, Instagram, 11:54, Instagram, 11:55, Instagram, and then a double-click widget Smith situation, probably some sort of ad thing. Doesn't say from what, but those pop up all the time, so there's no telling. At 11:57, and then that's it. That's it. So look. 11:50, she's calling Emily and saying, oh my God, come over, bro. I don't know what to do. 1 minute before that, not even a minute before that, she's got her other friend being like, do I need to come pick you up? Is everything okay? While simultaneously having her father be like, okay, cool, I'll call you at 2. We'll catch up then. What? That's it, guys. That's the doc. Here's the link so that you guys can go grab it yourself. It's on the Case of Interest website. That is crackadoodle, bro. Crackadoodle. 5 months, Lorena. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, Vanessa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2 years, Carrie. How you doing? And 10 gifted memberships. Congratulations to those who got those memberships. That's always fun. That's always fun. Congratulations to those that are green now. Yeah, this is wild to me. Like, we sort of already knew the timeline for this kind of thing, right? But like seeing it in actual black and white, it's just like, girl, how many different personalities do you have to be able to handle all these different conversations with completely different temperatures and act like nothing's wrong? That's crazy to me. I want to know more than anything what's going on with this. Like, there's obviously like stuff that we've known already that's now verified. I want to know what the hell this is about and why the hell you're messaging Eric Gower at 2:10. He's responding to you 3 minutes later, but you don't even bother reading his message. You don't even bother reading the freaking message. That's freaking crazy. Then random ass contact with no previous or even afterwards information. Again, you're not calling anyone to let anyone know what the hell is happening. You get a phone call from somebody who heard a noise that you claim that you didn't hear. And that's when shit starts triggering the domino effect, which is shady as shit. And then after, there's a phone call to someone else. And they're not telling us who it is. So who was getting the holy shit, what's going on phone call from them? Who? Who outside of the house got a call and got told what was happening? Who got this phone call right here? Who got this phone call? And who got these messages? Not Bethany, not Xana, not Ethan, not Maddie, not Kaylee, not her dad. Who is this? Who is this? This right here, and the way that she again is having a conversation with her father at the exact same time that Bethany is having a conversation with Jenna and telling Jenna all the crazy shit that just went on, and then hanging up on Jenna to have a conversation with Dylan about what needs to happen. And Dylan is just, yep, two's better. Why, Dylan? Why is two better? Because you're currently in the middle of scheming some bullshit and your plan's not over yet? That's crazy shit. That is crazy shit. Yeah, you missed it. It's up there. It's a girl named Brittany Fernandez. Brittany Fernandez. I don't know who that could possibly be. Like I said, I looked on social media, on Facebook, because when it comes to trying to verify like who the girls are, or like the friend group anyway, it's pretty easy to see like who actually went to the University of Idaho and who has connections, for those of them that haven't like privated their friends list. And some of them have privated the friends to where you can't see any of their connections at all. But when it came to Cassidy and Jordan, it was easy to see where the connections went. So I went looking for a Brittany Fernandez. I typed in Idaho. I saw younger ones. I saw older ones. I saw one that owned a fitness place, but I also saw some from other places. So I don't know. And I don't know. Something, bro. Something. Thank you for being here for so long. Definitely something. There's too much going on here, man. There's just too much. And the crazy thing too, like I said, like I can sort of forgive Bethany's stupidity to a certain extent until like it gets closer to the ending there. Because what are y'all doing? What are y'all discussing? It's really obvious to me that Dylan didn't say anything, or at least that's what we're being told. Dylan didn't mention anything to Bethany about seeing Xana and her having no pants on. The only thing that she mentions is the dude. It doesn't sound like she tells Bethany any actual details once she gets down there. Unless she did and they're just not telling us. I don't know. We don't know. We weren't there. We weren't there. And as sketchy as everything is, we are just guessing based off of facts. Because these are facts. These are court documents. These are analytical paperwork coming from the back end information of her cell phone. This is stuff that we've been waiting for. And it just throws more questions. Dylan is hiding a lot. Bethany might be airheaded and only giving two shits about Thanksgiving to a point. But there is just something about Dylan, bro. And the timing, again, she didn't call Bethany. Bethany called her and was like, holy shit, did you hear that sound? Something just woke me up. Is it a firecracker? What was that? A minute and a few seconds later, SB1 hightails it out of there. You're trying to tell me that as like this shit's going on, someone can hear Bethany downstairs barely talking, making a phone call? No, probably not. I feel like Bethany waking up and calling Dylan was a trigger. And I could be wrong. These are all my opinions based on the facts in front of us. I see things and I think, well, they're not giving us any answers. So what could it possibly be? Well, the facts tell us that there's somebody hiding a lot. Hiding a lot. This is so annoying. This is annoying. Yes, it is, Jennifer. It really, really is, isn't it? Thank you for being here for 6 months. It's really annoying. Yeah, I mean, we knew. I did. They won't give it to me. We have the name. Her name is in this document. But I tried. Oh, I don't know anything about I don't know the details of the hit and run situation. I have no idea. I tried. I told you guys about this in a live the other day. I'm going to pull them up right here. my messages with them, because I asked for several different things. Like I wanted more information about like the 17-minute phone call between Kaylee and Jack, timestamps of phone calls and text message directly for like a certain amount of time, not just like the time of the crime, but like a certain like amount of time. I don't remember the exact amount of time that I asked for, but I asked for that. I asked for the contact information, and there was something the frick else I asked them for, and she basically denied all of them for almost the exact same thing, which was privacy. And my whole thing was, okay, but you also like can redact it. You can redact all but the last 4 digits of the number. You can redact all but the first initials of the first and last name, like we've seen this whole time. There's literally no reason for you not to be able to just show us that shit. So let me show y'all. They denied it for those reasons. And then she also came back with telling me like basically just privacy all over again. I'm going to show you. Yeah. Okay, let me open this message up. And then I'll share this and we'll go look at it. This was February 5th. So just a few weeks ago, I tried to get this information and they told me no. They told me no. I'm sure Amber loved telling me no that day. You know, she hates to see a request coming in from me. My God. Okay. Let's see if you guys can see this well enough. I might have to make it bigger. Yeah, hold on. Does that help or make it worse? Oh my God. I guess it sort of helps. Okay. Y'all can't read that for shit. Holy hell. And this is like that one that pops up, so I can't even make it bigger. Okay. So I sent a response. I sent a request asking for, I can't share this part with y'all because it has my damn address on it. Hold on. I can open it all the way first. Okay. I'll reshare it. Okay. It says, City of Moscow received your public records request on January 17th, 2026. The request asked for call log with times for Kaylee and Jack, and she was just like, no, this is not going to work. Unwarranted invasion of personal privacy was the one that she told me for that. And then I sent in like 3 at the exact same time. So let's see, is this the one for Dylan? Yeah, this is the one for Dylan. I just don't want y'all to see my address that's on there. Hold on. Okay, come on, go bigger. Oh God, okay. Oh, okay, calm down, go back down. Jeebus. I feel like my stuff is freezing a little bit. Okay. So then I asked for Dylan's stuff. And I said, any information regarding the contact added to Dylan Mortensen's phone at 3:51 a.m. on 11/13/22 per the motion in limine filed. This is the one, remember I told you guys that she tried to act like I wasn't being specific enough. And I was like, I gave you everything. I gave you exactly where the document was. I showed you where the motion was. I gave you all the information. And she was like, oh, you need more specifics. No, the frick I don't. Y'all are dumb. Y'all are dumb. I don't need to give you anything else. I literally sent her like everything. I'm going to show you exactly what I sent because I resent it. I sent it all the frick over again. I said my request included the link to the Idaho case of public interest website where the motion mentioned was accessible. As I was aware, y'all don't deal with the actual court records because that was in her response. They don't deal with the court records. Yeah, no shit. We know that. Any information regarding the contact added to Dylan Mortensen's phone at 3:51 a.m. on 11/13/22 per the motion in limine filed, which is where she stopped it, which is not what I put. Here on the case of interest website, it is listed on page 4, and I gave her the freaking link. I gave her the link. I can see that as of today, the link gives a 404 error that happens and happens often when changes to the case summary or the doc itself are made. I have attached a screenshot of the entire 4th page of the motion, bazinga, and I have also given you the new link after the changes were made, and I've attached the file itself. This is the same way that I gave them the information originally. But because the court made some sort of update and at 4:04, she was just too freaking lazy to go in there and take the title of this and all the rest of the information that I gave her and just go pull it up. It had taken her 5 whole seconds. But instead, she wanted to act like I'm inferior at sending in FOIA requests when the damn girl knows better. She knows better. I also said, I'm not requesting her phone records. I'm not requesting calls, times, nor text messages. I am requesting the very specific information detailed in the court records, which is the contact information, including back-end information from Dylan's phone for the new contact that was created at 3:51:03 a.m. by Dylan Mortensen, just minutes before the timeline for the murders began. This information would have been obtained when the phone was dumped by law enforcement and then archived as defense. Meaning y'all have it. Don't lie to me. Y'all have it. It's your information. You're the lead agency. Miss me with the bullshit. Seriously, you have it. Specific time with seconds and a redacted name and redacted information would suffice. Rejecting the entire request seems drastic when initials for adults in black boxes to cover phone numbers would correct the privacy issue. And her response was, the only record the city would have may include this information you are requesting, if that was deemed relevant to the investigation, would be non-exempt are the investigative reports which have already been released. Any details regarding information from Dylan's phone itself are exempt from release, as it would be an invasion of her personal privacy. So yes, I did try. Sure did. Got shot down. First time that they've really sort of denied anything, honestly. Sorta. No, there was something else. The Kohberger interview, because they don't have it. They never talked to the Kohbergers. Crazy stuff. This whole thing is crazy. I don't know who she was talking to at 4:27. I don't know who got that call. Because that would have been when she should have been like out of breath and freaking out from running down the stairs and blah, 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 whatever. Well, what? It's just a lot. So much. Then get the frick off my chat, because I'm going to keep on yelling. If you don't like it, get the hell out, dumbass. Goddamn. Maybe because you're not mad enough, so you don't understand it. Maybe go listen to Shinetown. They'll tell you that you're stupid. So there's another idiot in here not paying attention to facts. Go figure. I would really hate to be some of these people's like friends in real life for real. Because the people that make excuses for this kind of shit and act so nonchalant and like it doesn't even matter. Like, I'd hate to be somebody that relies on you. I would hate to be your child. I would hate to be your family member or your friend that relies on you if you really want to sit here and make excuses for the stupidity that happened here. Like, seriously. Pay attention to facts and stop being so ignorant. These two girls are not victims. The people that lost their lives are victims. You know, because they're actually dead. They're not here. They were stabbed to death in their house. While these two, or at least Dylan, just wants to pretend like nothing was really happening until she got a phone call. But if you want to go ahead and play ignorant, you can go play ignorant on another person's channel. Because we don't play stupid here. That should be obvious by now. It's so weird. It is so freaking weird. Yeah, that's what somebody else mentioned too, that the initials are BF. So it does make it a little bit confusing when it comes to the phone logs, because we know they gave it to us with initials. Yeah. I would hate to be anybody that relies on these people. Because you're just going to die. You're just going to die. Because at the end of the day, Dylan's a piece of shit. I don't give a damn. I don't give a single F about Dylan and whatever she thinks that she's going through. She is a whole ass woman who sits here and says that she has these bad dreams about people chasing her and trying to kidnap her and all this shit from beforehand. And you're seeing a complete stranger walk out of your house after hearing screaming, after hearing someone say someone's here, after hearing somebody being chased, after hearing all this shit. And then you see your roommate that's supposed to be one of your BFFs on the floor, covered in blood, with no damn pants on, and the R word possibility isn't the first thing that comes to your mind after seeing that kind of scene? What? So if she would have just been OD'd on alcohol because she drank too much, that's not a reason enough for you to go and check on her and make sure she's still breathing. You're just like, doesn't matter. Whoever actually raised Dylan Mortensen raised her to be an inconsiderate piece of shit human. Prove me wrong on that. You don't do shit for 8 hours, but you admit that you saw her then and you saw her again 8 hours later and she hadn't moved. So your memory is good enough to remember exactly the way the scene looked 8 hours beforehand when you were so scared and freaking out. Miss me with the damn bullshit, bro. Miss me with all of it. I don't care. I don't care. She wasn't. That whole thing about her being like wasted or whatever was bullshit, because the more paperwork that came out and the more that we started hearing her speak herself, she didn't have a Borg. She didn't have a Borg. She sipped off of somebody else's Borg. The only person that was technically wasted was the friend that she brought home with her, which is the whole reason why she brought that friend home with her. If you go back and you read the reports, there's even another report, and again, this is just a report from someone else claiming that she saw Dylan at Sigma Chi, and Dylan made a comment to her about how she couldn't drink that night. She just wasn't in the mood. But we're supposed to believe she was so drunk off of her ass. No, she wasn't. No. I'm not playing these stupid games. People want to be dumb, they can go be dumb somewhere else. I don't care. Frick yeah. And as sad as it was to see, because I know as much as I've been wanting answers, I don't want to see like their faces or their bodies like in any other way than what we've already seen. And I know that it's even more so for the families. Like, I'm not stupid to that. I want the truth. I want to see the truth. But that unredacted photo, I'm pissed, but I'm also glad that it came out because it gave us a better like perspective. There's no way that you didn't notice. There's no way that you didn't see that her little white legs were covered in red stains. Like, how do you not see that? How do you not see that? You can see, again, her room is messy. You can see that there's stuff on her floor. You can see that she's on the ground, but you don't see all the rest of these details? No. Not happening. That part. That part. You drink all the time and then suddenly you're not drinking as much as normal and you're telling people that you can't drink that night. A little strange. It's just too much. It was sad. There was no mistaking what happened there. No mistaking. The only people's stories that matter here are the victims. That's why regardless, I don't give a shit how harsh people think that I am when it comes to Dylan. She's been lying from the second that Officer Nunes asked her to start telling her story. She's been lying since the second she got on that damn dispatch. She's not being honest. She's not being honest. It's just too stupid. Too stupid. But okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. It didn't take too long. It's been less than 2 hours to go through all 50, 51, 49 pages, something like that. And again, it's on the Case of Interest website. You guys can go grab it. I put the link in the chat for if y'all want to go get that. But I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I have a couple of things I need to do. We're going to go live. That's because there was an issue with the chat earlier. If you read the banner on the bottom of the screen right here, it says that there's some sort of glitch in the chat. It's been a lot better, but at the beginning, you couldn't write in the chat unless you were using special characters. There'd been a glitch for a while. For like some hours, there's been a glitch. Oh, thank you for the $9.99 Sausage Biscuits. WSU can subpoena the unredacted audio of those screams from 1112 security cam at 227. Bryan didn't leave Pullman until 2:45. Okay, so let's talk about that for 2 seconds while there's 1,500 people in here. So I know a lot of y'all act like it's drama when people talk about other creators, but when you are fact checking a dumbass, it's not drama. So let's just start right there. So what's the obsession is the person that I wrote my community post about earlier today. Now I had sat there and I had listened to portions of what she horribly tried to describe in her stupid 3.5 hour long live the other day about the scream at 227, but I didn't listen to the whole thing until this morning. See, this girl wasn't on my shit list until she ran her stupid ass mouth. Now she's on my shit list and she's really going to regret the dumb shit that she said. So for someone who's been talking about Chris Watts for like, I don't know, how long has that case been going on? She literally just posted another video about him yesterday and one the day before that. She's sitting here trying to say that I only dig into this case to find things that are salacious and that I'm obsessed. As she's still talking about Chris Watts. It's funny that somebody that's a behavioral therapist doesn't know what obsession truly looks like. That's disturbing. Feel bad for any patient of hers. Let's be serious. She is also trying to claim that the scream is some sort of sorry, not sorry, stupid drunk chick who's mad because her and her boyfriend are breaking up. And she's a friend of the people that live at 1112. And because they are arguing, that's the F-bombs and all the things that you're apparently hearing in the footage. Because they're arguing and he breaks up with her, she screams like a psychopath, is what the story is. Now, what really pisses me off about the way that Watts the Obsession put this out there is because she came completely stupidly unprepared, literally teased this information for like almost a week. Then as she's on the live, she's like, I don't know if I can even tell this story. I got to text her and get permission. What are you out here talking for anyway? For one, what are you out here talking for anyway if you don't even have permission to tell this story? And for two, for you to sit there and be such a stupid ass hypocrite about anything when you're sitting there admitting to us that you've known for years about this damn scream. And instead of coming out here months ago when that damn footage was given to me by the police after we paid so much money, you could have fixed this. You could have came out the second that video came out and been like, hold up, guys. I know it sounds crazy and I know it sounds scary and I know it sounds like something's legitimately happening here, but this is the story. She could have came out and told us that shit months ago. But instead, she wants to sit here and criticize us for going over FOIA'd legitimate raw footage from the police, acting like there's something so nefariously disgusting about wanting answers. You, Miss Ma'am, have allowed this to go on for months and months more than it needed to because what? For what reason? So that you could hold on to your ego trip that you knew that this was nothing at all important and just decided to let people keep thinking that it was for months? But then you want to say that I'm the bad guy? Are you out of your ever-loving ass mind? This woman does nothing but get her information from frats. She's like 45 something years old. I don't know. She's older than me. And she would rather the frat boys told me, so you got to trust me, bro approach than the actual documentation. She pissed me off. Not just that, but she's also sitting there trying to say that the person went through the footage and didn't find anything wrong. It all sounds the same. Then she says something stupid like, oh, by the way, there's like 4 parts of the footage that don't match. So there's your bone to chew on. While saying that we're over here looking for something salacious to talk about, Mrs. Ma'am, we've got new documentation dropping in this case every day. Obsession is what you're doing. The irony. The irony. And I'm only even bringing that up now because that scream is so freaking important and people keep talking about it. But for this dumbass woman to come out here and try to say a damn thing, do you need $30 so that you can FOIA the footage yourself and see that it's legitimate? Because all this talk about it being messed with, I'm really freaking done with it. I mean, are you broke? I can let you borrow a 30. I mean, do you need it? It isn't going to take you but 2 seconds to file the FOIA and get it yourself. I can even send you the form. Dumbasses. Complete freaking dumbasses. 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 So again, if you knew for months that the scream that we heard that sent chills through thousands of freaking people that came straight from the video from the cops, if you knew the story the whole time, you're the problem. Not me for wanting facts, not us for asking questions, you for allowing the dumpster fire bullshit to continue if it didn't really need to. You're no better than the police. You're no better than everything that's been going on in this case for the past 3.5 years. All you did was cause more bullshit. But then you want to try to place some sort of high ground? Girl, you don't even have a recording of this girl talking to you. You don't even have text messages of her telling you anything. You're sitting there with your camera off, telling a story while saying you've got to get permission to even say any of this. What? I recorded the entire live. I have the whole thing recorded. I am not about to keep listening to dumbass, lazy-ass people who want to pretend like there's anything wrong with this footage. FOIA it your damn self. We paid the big adult price for you. It's only $30 for you to try to prove me wrong. Put your damn money where your mouth is. Again, I'll let you borrow it. I've really had enough. What's the obsession is a damn moron. Straight up stupid. And again, she wasn't on my shit list until I listened to that whole thing. You got a lot of nerve to say a damn thing about me and what we're doing over here. For real. For real. What the hell? I can't stand her. I believe that. And see, I didn't think that I was going to have to listen to the whole thing. I only went into the transcript and then Control F trying to find information on the scream. The scream. I'm trying to hear information on what the story is. So difficult to follow this person. And I know we're going to have some losers that be like, oh my God, she didn't feel good. Don't leave her alone. Well, then she shouldn't have been on a live. So unprepared to tell whatever was supposed to be the truth. That's her fault. She's a grown-ass person. She could have handled that better. She was unprepared. She didn't have facts. She didn't have anything to show us. She kept playing footage that had nothing to do with 227, skipping around. She'd stop in the middle of answering questions and be like, okay, we're going to play this for a few more minutes. For what? 3.5 hours, and she really didn't say nothing. Again, I'll let you borrow the money. FOIA it your damn self. Dumb. I'm so dumb. Post the link on this stream for her live. Yeah, and then there was another, there was a part that she really just proves that she doesn't really understand how anything goes in here whatsoever. So somebody said something about how, oh, you can tell that things are blurred, so somebody did something to it. Yeah, no shit, stupid. We are literally paying somebody called a redactor, who knows how much money per hour to do redacting. That's what we're paying the money for. We're not paying for the files. We're paying 3 different people's hourly fees. See, those of you that are here and actually pay attention to facts, you've seen the Zen2 portal where they've sent me the files, how they look like raw before I ever even download them. You have access to the raw files yourself. You've seen every single receipt. You see the second it comes out of my bank account. I am the most transparent creator on this platform, and I can say that with confidence. There's nobody that can take that away from me. Y'all know my past. Y'all know shit that's happened to me with my ex. You know the shit with my kid. I tell you everything when it comes to what's going on with these cases, especially since y'all were the ones who funded the damn thing. I didn't hide a damn dot, a damn cross T. Everything was put out there. So for all these dumbasses who keep wanting to run their mouths, do a little research. Do a little research. Get off of Reddit. Do a little research. Might do you some good. Might do you some good. So I don't know. I don't know what that 227 scream really is, because this Watts the Obsession lady seems to have an unhealthy relationship with these university students, where she just believes every little thing that they say or what she claims that they say to her, and she just trusts it. They're strangers. Just because they've talked to you in the past about something that has nothing to do with you doesn't mean that you can just trust them. And the really stupid part, the really ignorant part about this girl's story, and honestly, their story doesn't even matter. It really doesn't. But the ignorant part about this story is she's like, oh my God, there was like drugs going on in the house, and that's just not normal. It was such an abnormal night because all these illegal substances were in the house, and that's just not how it normally is. But for some reason, just that night, we had all these illegal drugs in the house, and that's what we just didn't want anybody to know. Sure, it's just that night. Sure, it's so abnormal. And that's what she's out here pushing, that everything was just so strange. And there was people in and out of this girl's house that she just didn't know. And there were all these illegal things, and it was just not normal. Do I look like I was born yesterday? My whole blood pressure was up this morning. Look, I got up this morning. I couldn't sleep hardly at all. I woke up at like 5:30 this morning. I've been busting my ass all day. I woke up, I took a bubble bath, and about 30 minutes later, I was like, oh, I really need to listen to this whole thing. I need to make sure I have it all. Sure enough, none of the relaxing that I did this morning helped whatsoever, because instantly, her running her damn little mouth, I was like, girl, are you out of your damn mind? You taking too much cough meds? Like, what's wrong with you? And I looked, there's nothing that she's done as a follow-up after this. She literally said that she knew how ridiculous that she sounded and that she was going to get it all together and put a concise video out with the information. And all she's done is run her mouth about Chris Watts instead of putting out something that we can actually track. We're going to be going over the information. We're going to be going over the live that she ran her mouth on, because I want y'all to hear it. I'm going to go out and cut out all of her stupidity. And when it comes to what she's claiming, we're going to go over her so-say story. But if this person really wants something cleared up, I don't know why the hell she's reaching out to some psycho who doesn't know anything about anything instead of going to the source. If you're so worried about the story coming out, don't pretend like you don't know that there's a million ways to get a hold of me, for one. For two, I'm the person who came out and was like, look, she literally handed Gunderson the SD card. They didn't even control it. And who else, or what else was it? We didn't blame them with anything when it came to literally anything. It was Mowry and his incapability on being able to simply put in a username and a password. That was the problem with getting the footage. The only thing that I have issues with, and this was actually brought up in the live, the only thing that I have issues with is the fact that she was allowing, whoever had the camera, was allowing who knows who to have some sort of access to the system itself via a login before Mowry had access, before the police had access. All these other people also had access. And we only know that because when the camera was removed, it literally interrupted somebody viewing the system. So they contacted the police and was like, well, yeah, I was watching it, but then y'all removed the camera and it stopped. Why were you watching it? Why does everybody and their mama have access to this footage? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to believe anything that these people say. I'm not going to believe it. Now, do I think that 1112 had anything to do with anything? No, I don't. I don't see them walking to 1122. We don't see them going back there and doing anything or coming from that direction. I don't have any reason to believe that anybody inside of 1112 has anything to do with anything. But for you to come out here and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to actually explain this situation. Oh my God, boo-hoo, freaking who? And it's not even you. It's somebody that was there that night. It's not even your own situation and you're acting like a big ass baby about it. Or is What's the Obsession just making you sound like a big ass baby about it? Because who really knows? But I want truth and proof about that 227 scream, because I have never had a scream or a sound that I'm listening to through my headphones run through my entire core the way that that damn scream did. So if you want me to believe it, then I want to hear it from the source and not from some airhead who can't even get a whole sentence out without screwing up. It was so difficult to listen to that shit. So freaking difficult. I wasn't expecting to go on a rant. But we need to talk about the 227 because it's been out there since the 6th. It's been out there since the 6th. That's when she went live. Not a single person. It doesn't even have that many views. It only has like 2,900 views. It might have 3,000 at this point. Oh, I call Birdie out all the time. I've been calling him out since he came out with some fake ass death certificates trying to say that Kaylee was alive until December 10th because Xana's mother was sent that bullshit and people were trying to tell her that her daughter was still alive somewhere based on Birdie's stupid ass videos. Then his strike number 2 was trying to bring Dot back when she admitted herself that she was a freaking fraudulent liar. I'm sorry. And if this might offend some of you that are religiously here, you've heard this before already. If you still watch Birdie after all of the lies and the bullshit that he puts out just because he's on the right side of things, I don't know if that's worth it. There are a lot of creators out there that do not make up bullshit for no reason. Phoenix is no good either. The last time I heard, she's speaking on some real crazy shit. I don't know what these people take to make them just go off the rocker like that. But like I've always said, this is sad enough. This is tragic enough. This is disgusting enough. There's no need for it. And if you would rather come out here and base your whole entire existence on things that have no actual backing, no facts, no court documents, and it's just good gossip, then what are you here for? What are you here for? These are adults. These are adults making very adult choices with the way that they behave. They know what they're doing. It's no different than sitting there trying to make anyone believe that a narcissist doesn't know exactly what they're doing to you as they're doing it. It's no different. And I'm allowed to have that opinion because I move differently. I might be a little bit harsh on my opinions, but I'm as honest as they come. My kids know that I don't lie. Anyone who's ever been with me knows I don't lie. Anyone who's ever been around me knows I don't lie. I'm an asshole, but I'm not a liar. And for you to fake shit just because you want those views, you want those people in your chat, you want all this hype on some fake shit, what are you here for? You have no respect for the victims. None. You don't respect Kaylee. You don't respect Maddie. You don't respect Xana. You don't respect Ethan. You don't respect them. We're here because we want the truth. We're here because their lives were taken and no one wants to be honest about why. We're here because even the families are trying to cover up the reasons for whatever is actually going on here. And if all you want to do is make that worse, why are you here? I think that's a valid question. And I'm going to stick to that. And if that makes me unwatchable to some people, then I don't need you here. But I move differently than a lot of these people. And I'm not going to change. If anything, I'm just going to go harder on what I actually stand for. If it might be too intense for you, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to downgrade what I stand for or who I am. That's just what that is. I'm getting off of here right now. I need some tea. I need some tea. Did y'all see my picture I posted on my other channel on my tea? Got like 7 boxes, bro. Y'all thought I was playing. Thought I was playing. All right, I'm going to get off of here. It's been about 2 hours. I am surprised that we went through that so quickly, honestly. If you want to be so serious. If you want to be so serious. Oh, thank you for the $2. Sandra. Yeah, no shit. Like, I can't believe the dumb stuff. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I wish they would, bro. Like, your name right there needs to be what all these dumbasses need to do. FOIA and find out just how stupid you sound. FOIA and find out. Like I said, I got $30 for you, bro. I can spot you. Not a thing. Not a thing. I am out of here. Thank you again for the super stickers and the super chats, the gifted memberships, and those of you who joined on your own. I cannot believe that February is already going to be over in 3 days. January goes so slow. It feels like 10 years go by in January. And then we get to February. And it just goes, and it just goes, and it just goes. Crazy stuff. Now, tomorrow is Thursday, so I can go live. I cannot go live twice tomorrow. I have to post the video that I was talking about the very specific, what would the story have been if Bethany wouldn't have called Dylan. That one has to be posted in the evening. That's the new sponsor for the channel. That one's in there. You're going to like it. It's something that everyone needs. It's a relaxation tool, I guess I'll say. You'll like it. So I'm going to go live in the morning at some point. because I usually tend to post my evening videos between 6:45 and 8:15 because that's like a sweet spot for the majority of you guys being online and getting the notifications I've noticed over just a pattern of time. So sometime in the morning, I want to go live, but I want to go live about the 911 call difference. We're going to play the one that we got from the mainstream media people that put it out first. And then we're going to play the one that Chrissy's Chaos has, because again, I know that she goes in there just like Connor does and she FOIAs the information. She doesn't mess with it. Like she might put something on the screen so that she can play it and do whatever YouTube tells you that you need to do for certain things. But she's not going in there and manipulating the audio as far as I know. And again, I could be wrong about anything and everything at any freaking given time. Okay. But my opinion on the way that I've seen Christy's Chaos do things is that it's the legitimate information. She FOIAs it, she grabs it, she uploads it. I find it interesting that it's a lot more clear. And I don't know if they watered it down before they gave it to the mainstream media people that then released it, or if the mainstream media people watered it down before they released it. Like if they're the ones who did it. Because I feel like when the Moscow Police Department photos came out, remember it was just one entity that got all of the photos. After that, it was the redacted like amount of photos. I can't remember the exact amount, but only one entity got all of them. And I feel like when the mainstream media put those out there, that they did something with them. And like some of them look like they'd been flipped. There was just something different because the stuff we ended up getting later, there was just something different about them. I don't know. I don't know. Something was just odd. Something was odd. But we're going to do that. I'll set that up tonight at some point before I go to bed, or like first thing in the morning, but it'll be sometime between 11:45 and 1:15ish probably. I know there's not too many people online at that portion of time, but since it's Thursday, that's the only time in the morning that I can actually do it. So I'm going to get off of here, get a couple things done. Thank you so much for being here with me and going over this information, because it's not an obsession if there's constantly new filings coming out that we have to go over. Somebody needs to buy somebody a dictionary. Thank you again for coming in here with me tonight and spending so much time with me. I am going to go ahead and roll this out. You guys have a great night. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. Okay, you guys. See y'all.